Welcome everyone to Wake Up with KNTX, and welcome the Motley crew here.
Hey, hey.
Hello
How are you
everyone.
doing?
Hello
Hey, Papa.
everyone. What's up, Papa B? Why are you squeaking?
Who's the captain? We're sailing again.
Yeah, what's going on?
Just
Who
a
is
bunch
this? What
of
is it?
The captain is listening in the background.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Checking on us, so we have to behave.
Okay, yeah. Good morning, HEX in effect. Crypto Games Club. PB Shotgun. Konbanwa. What's that?
konbanwa.
I
Good
hope-
evening in
Guten
Japanese.
Abend. Good evening.
Okay.
Bonsoir.
Hey. What?
We got Carlos too.
Motley is in the house too.
Yeah, there are a lot of guys in here, and Papa B, Crypto King is messaging me on Telegram that someone wants to he wants to pass the
I thought we had a
link
musical
to
guest tonight was lined
to
up. I don't know
someone
anything
else.
about it though. They discussed it last night. We had
Okay.
somebody set up by Crypto King, but I guess KNTX is not here, so I don't know if this is going to get postponed or if he wants to do it, have his guy come on. I don't know.
I don't know. I just gave him the link.
Okay then.
So I don't know.
And there's Wales. How you
Hey,
doing?
hi, Wells.
Good morning, good evening. How's everybody doing?
Hey. How are you?
It's okay. A little bit chaotic.
It's a lovely day in the neighborhood.
That's right. Especially
We had
after
the
that
biggest HEX payout per T-shirt since
Oh
ever.
my god.
Ever.
Yeah, I mean,
So we're gonna talk about the hack right away.
Yes, sir. That's
well,
topic
you
at
know,
hand.
I think there were two events going on that day because that was a lot of HEX, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot of HEX. I've heard that there was two things going on that day. One was a hack, one was a gift. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it like that. But one thing I will say is this. If you haven't figured out how important staking is by now, then we need to just take you to the back and just slap it into you. Because you just missed the 4X payout because you just ain't listening. So, that's
And things
bad.
like this can always happen.
Mhm.
You never know. So you got to be staked, because if you started
Yeah.
staking only on the Sunday, you didn't get it. So,
Yep.
and I'm sure many people tried to cash in on that, but you have to do 24
I already
hours.
saw people saying that same thing. Oh, I'm staking a day so I could. Nah,
Yeah,
bro, you
exactly.
missed it. Sorry.
Not how it works.
Nope. even if you even when you end the stake, right, you're out of the system for one whole day. You can't restake it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Until another 24-hour period passes. So, you know,
Is
there's a
this
reason.
a joke? Dave Hex, are you
Hello,
are you
Hexicans.
serious? Are
Let
you
me allow to
serious, or-
introduce myself. So I live in Jakarta and made up an app that allows you pay HEX in a McDonald's.
Wow.
You what,
But
mate?
only the McDonald's is in Jakarta.
We want to hold the HEX. We don't want to spend it.
And we
Yeah.
promote organic food.
So people don't really understand the velocity of money. They think it's circulating a lot, increases its value, and the fact is actually to the contrary. Because when you're constantly saying take this, it's a transfer, right? But here, in essence, what you're doing is you're transferring to an end point where they're not going to stake, they're going to sell for a fiat, which is that's what businesses are going to do. You know, think about it. What are the odds that a business is going to maintain a pool of crypto? What, to give you change back in crypto? They don't need to do that. Right? So gotta think about it. It's not necessarily a positive thing.
We have someone else in here.
There he is.
Hobos, what's going on, bro?
Hello.
Oh, hey. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it's great.
Awesome. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Or morning or afternoon, wherever you happen to be in the world.
You got the Christmas lights going already.
Oh, they're up all
Nice.
the time.
Nice.
They're up all the time.
Christmas
That's what I have
only.
on. It's good. They're white, so I don't know. They're decorations. They're not quite Christmas at this point.
You
it's just a little
doxed
something when I do
yourself.
my live streams. I want it to look a little nice.
You doxed yourself. Your name is Leo. I know it.
My name is Leo. Yeah, I know. Nah, that's just I just like that. I just love this hat. That's all. Leo is actually a local beer where I am in Thailand.
Ah.
So, and I like the red hat, and I've actually it just looks nice, a little contrast where when I do my streams. Yeah.
It brings out your eyes.
Yeah, it does. Thank you very much.
Hello, welcome to Discourse Syndicate, and we don't have our host here because he's recovering from a certain event.
Being sick.
Yeah.
Just the word.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Oh, did he get the coup?
Doesn't exist.
It
Wales would attest to that.
Yeah.
Well,
All
what's funny.
imagination.
Well, what's funny is you can't even say it, so it must not exist because it should have
Ah.
get banned. So wake up once again. Thank you.
So KNTX is suffering from that special time of the month. How's that?
Right. Yeah, we can go with that.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
KNTX is going to be pissed when he finds out.
Every 3 weeks.
Yeah. He's got a short cycle.
Oh my God, that was funny.
Yeah, so Crypto King asked me to forward him the invitation to this live stream. So, don't know. Did you spoke with anyone else in here? I think Papa
Yeah,
Boner
I've spoken with Crypto King. Boom.
Yeah.
And I've spoken with Wales the other night, and I first saw these guys on Rogue News, the Rogue News channel on YouTube, and I've been following them for 10 years. So I listened to these guys talk, especially Wales talk, and explaining all about HEX. And I dropped a message on the video, a comment like, "Hey, I'm interested in this." And Crypto King just got in touch with me, said, "Yeah, hey, come on the chat, learn some things, talk about yourself and what you're doing." And yeah, so here I am. The Rogue team is CJ's the guy there, producer CJ. He's never steered me wrong on anything. Nothing they've ever said on their show where it was just like way off, you know. So for 10 years, they've never done me wrong. And when they brought, you know, the Discourse Syndicate on, Wales and Crypto and Dave was, I forgot, I don't remember who all was on, but sounded like good guys. I wanted to,
was on also.
Right. So I just like reached out, hey, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So here I am, hoping to just promote a little bit about what I do and learn a bit about what you do as well.
Okay, so yeah, let's tell us then who are you? What do you do? Because I don't know. I haven't watched
That's okay. No, I do music. I make my own music. I do it old school. I'm a singer songwriter with just an acoustic guitar, and I recently recorded a song and got it published and distributed out on all the major like streaming platforms: Spotify, Amazon, Deezer, Tidal, what else? iTunes, Amazon, just basically all of them. A song, and I think a lot of the guys like that song. The song's called "Our Guy." You can go into Spotify right now, search "Hobo Sermons," and it's the one song I have up there right now. So I want to keep doing that more and looking for other ways that if people support me and support my music, what are some other ways that they can show support rather than just through things like PayPal and all these other, you know, where there's going to be a bunch of middlemen taking their pound of flesh. So like if somebody gives me $1, right, they think they're donating $1 to me for a song or something like that.
To really get 20 cents.
30 cents or something like that. Exactly, Wales.
But from your experience,
So
which of these streaming sites would you say gives you the best royalties as an artist, or is it pretty much the same?
No, that's based on the DSP, the digital service provider. So I used one. It was just called Route Note, ROUTE, and the way they set it up, it's free for right now. I get 85% of the royalties, and they get 15%. And I said that's fine because I'm just starting out. I don't have a major, you know, library of music at this point. And maybe if I ever get there, then I'll switch to a different kind of service where I pay and get 100% of the royalties. But for starting out, it seems pretty good. And yeah, I do stream on YouTube. I have the Hobo Sermons channel on YouTube. Just go on YouTube, type in Hobo Sermons. I do shows on Thursdays and Fridays. Thursdays, I do my originals. And on Fridays, I do covers and kind of like a themed show. It's pretty fun.
How would you categorize your work? I haven't heard it. I mean, we just met each other last night, but my time.
Right.
But what's your style? What do you put out there?
Like folky country, sort of bluesy folk country rock blues. It's underproduced. It's just me and my guitar. I don't even put drum tracks on or anything like that. I want to go back to the more a bit more nostalgia on the music, because music nowadays is just
unhinged,
weird,
pure.
It doesn't make sense. It's just like tones or something like that. Like I really like the formula of like older, like old Hank Williams songs, old Johnny Cash songs, like the perfect 3-minute songs that no one does anymore.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like even Nirvana.
Get in and get it. I call those the get in and get it songs. Get in and get it, because
as long as it means something and the lyrics have meaning, like that's what I try to do.
They had a mission. They were there for something. They weren't just there to distract you, basically.
Yeah, it's more now that music seems to be more about the visual aspect of it than the audio aspect of it now. Right, you see all these people. It's always like what they look like who, what was that
the
guy?
Island Boys?
Yeah, like them. It's all about how they look, right? And what was that? There's that other one. Like it started with that one woman that had the hair over her face, right? Like I don't remember her.
Lady Gaga.
No, she doesn't have her hair over her face.
That isn't her, but she's just like her. I can't remember her name. It's like a terrible short name. So I want to get back into the idea of just songs that are like short, sort of like they have a formula that works. Like the old music, like there's a reason why everybody can sing along to Living on a Prayer, and everybody just goes for it. Right? Somebody starts singing it, or like even just like old like gospel-y songs, sort of like you are my sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me all of those things
are great.
Isn't that the peanut butter commercial from 1979?
Sure, whatever. Those were great.
This song got only famous by the Doctor and 7 of 9 from Star Trek Voyager singing it. It's the only reason.
True.
If you're 20 years old, Das Bomb, like yourself, yes.
And that's
but DJ Cryptomatic and I know something different.
Yeah,
that's an old one.
There is a reason why those songs get stuck in your head when you hear them.
Yeah, they follow the formula. Like there's tons of music theory out there, and then you have like now they have whatever they call it post rock or something like that, where they're these 10-minute, 17-minute songs that are just like keep adding stuff on. Like let's see how crazy like these chords that we can get to, and it's like you're just alienating people and kind of being a show off rather than trying to make something that could actually last. And that's what I hope I can do. Is make some songs that actually endure, because there are those songs that do. Like Hank Williams is a great example. What's the best one is jambalaya, catfish pie, me oh my oh. Tonight we'll have big fun on the bayou. Right? There's like those songs. Johnny Cash's. You got like Johnny Cash. Stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on. Even Elvis, like old Elvis songs, they all worked, and then it all just sort of stopped, and it really stopped in like the late 2000s, like 2010s is when I think that music really, really started going really downhill real fast. So I'm hoping some people will be like, yeah, I dig your stuff. And even if I put it out there and people just want to make covers of it, do their version of it, yeah, that's fine, as long as I have the credit as the composer and the writer. I'm happy with that too.
When HEX song.
In the Telegram, it looks like a lot of people are beating me to it already, and they get
join a group.
Oh, I'm in a couple of them. I usually just lurk in the Telegram groups because it's too.
No,
many
I mean,
messages at once.
join the group of people that made HEX songs.
Yeah,
Oh, is there an
there's
actual
quite a
Telegram
lot.
group? Okay.
I
I'll
don't
have to
know.
look that up. Yeah. Right now,
Let's
I
make
only have
one.
one song on Spotify, and it's Our Guy is what it's called. And it's actually
Yeah,
it's a
you should
song about
really
written.
make one. Like, imagine something like Country Road, thinking about your stakes, about the future, 15 years
That's
ahead.
I like
You're
it.
dreaming.
I like
You're
it.
dreaming about it, or something more sinister. You're sitting there. Should I eat yes or not? Those
Yeah,
are like deep topics to fathom.
You never ES.
country road. We need like a proper sing along Oktoberfest smacker HEX song. That's what we need. Like 10,000 people in a tent stand up. That's the kind of song.
Country Road.
Mostly it's hip hop.
Be a little bit hard.
Which is
Definitely work
cool.
on accordion as well.
Yeah.
Definitely lots of accordion.
I didn't
Do
mean
you
Alpine
know about
music, but like,
Kryptographically?
you know.
Hobo?
Say again.
Do you know about Kryptographically? The US road trip.
Schwabo?
We're signing him up for
So those
Oktoberfest
are
now.
two Germans that expatriated, and they are traveling the US right now. It's called US Road Trip, and they are just going from city to city. They are making what can you call them? Like group center discussions.
Support
What could you
groups.
name? Support groups.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm actually
HEX
not
support
in the
groups.
US.
Anonymous. Yeah.
I'm not in the US.
Yeah, but I
I'm
mean,
not-
you said you're doing like country-like songs, so maybe you'll write something to them, and they will put it in one of the videos, because they're also doing every now and then they put together videos and promotional videos, and it got the like country vibe going through from city to city, and just
Okay.
you know, on the road.
I'll think about that. That's a good one. That's something to look into as well. I know. I actually did one. I made a little theme song for the Rogue News channel. They don't play it all that much, but I did do one of that. It was a 1-minute song, so I'll look into that. That's a good idea. I think somebody shot me the group. Oh, okay, yeah, I got it. I'll have to find that out. Yeah, I don't think Country Roads would work. I think something would be a little bit. I don't know what song. So for some reason in my mind is popping in the what is it? The Pogues, Dirty Old Town. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town. Dirty old town. Something you could do staking. What would it be?
Nice.
Staking my HEX. Staking some
Okay.
HEX.
And
I don't know.
Hobo, are you a Hexican?
I apparently I am, because I was basically brought into it by Crypto King. He shot some over to me, and so yeah, now I am a Hexican, but I'm actually I'm technically a Hex Asian, because I'm in Thailand.
Hexican
so
light.
I don't,
If you didn't go through the struggle of having to buy yourself, you're just Hexican light.
okay, I'm a
It's
Hexican
really hard.
light. I'm a Hexican light. Like I said, I'm new to this stuff, so I'm happy learning from it. The chat that I jumped in, what was it, last night or the other day? And Wales was there, and somebody else, Papa was there, but somebody else was telling me about. Was that you, Papa, telling me about like get a Trezor?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was Papa.
Yeah,
that's
you
my
should start
shtick,
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Did
gotta get.
Did you know about crypto before?
Yes,
Like, what's your story? What's your story with Crypto Legend? Tell us, like, how did you meet Crypto King? Where are you coming from? When was the first time you heard about Bitcoin? When was the first time you heard about HEX and so on? Just tell us a little riff raff.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll start with the HEX thing, because that's the easiest. It was literally like 2 weeks ago, when these
Good
guys, when you appeared on the Rogue News show, and they were just talking. And I listened a lot to what Wales said. He was explaining things. And I was like, this is interesting. And I also like the price. That's the other thing. It's like, oh, okay. It's still starting off small. There's still a chance that you can get, oh, okay. This seems worthwhile. This seems like something to be looking into, especially because everybody, and I can see them here, everybody seems like a normal person. If you know what I mean.
Relatively.
Like I've met crypto people who are, I don't know, they're weird. they're way too weird. They're way too abrasive. They're, you know, and you say something wrong and they jump down your throat. They're like, no. So it was cool.
You
like,
might have
Papa
not
was
met
like,
crypto people. You might have met traders.
could be. So I don't even know if is there a difference there. I don't know. So, but like I'm here. I did find out about crypto. What was it 2016, 2017 was when I first really started learning about it, because I was doing I was proofreading and editing a white paper for some crypto project that was going to come out of Russia. So like a Russian guy had translated it into English, and then I was going through and I'm looking at it going, I don't even know what this stuff means. Like, he's like, are these the right words? I'm like, I've never heard of these words before. So that's, and then I was like, this is interesting. I started looking into it a little bit, but yeah, I learned about Bitcoin, and I bought a little bit back in 2017, a little bit of Litecoin at the same time. And there was
before or
that
after the top? 2017, the end of 2017 was the big top, 20K.
No, it was.
And that was the end of the bull market.
It was before that, so it must have been 2016 at some time. Like I just used local Bitcoins and set something up.
Wow,
and like did
that's old school.
Bank transfer. It was, yeah, very, and like you can't do that anymore because I was like,
OG,
oh yeah, I used to have that. I wish I was an OG. No, I was just a dummy. That's all. Like, oh, I'll try it, see what happens, and then just sat on it, and I'm still just sitting on it. Like, well, I'll just keep waiting. Right? Maybe these people who say it's going to crack $1 million in 2023 are right, and then I'll be well happy that I'm just sitting.
You're a hodler by mistake. But I mean, if you
exactly.
So if you bought it before the bull market in 2017, that means you had the run up. You spent the whole bear market in it, and now you got a triple run up again. So you should be good on your gains with that one.
So what you want to do now, because we are at the bottom of this HEX dip, you want to transform all of that stuff into HEX.
That's what Cryptomatic would do if you wouldn't give
become a millionaire,
advice.
no financial advice.
I know you're not.
But that's the play.
Of course, that's not financial advice. We're not. That's clearly not what we're doing here, right? But yeah, so it's like I learned that one of the funniest things is I was working as a teacher in 2020 during the bull run, when all like the altcoins are going up, and there was in the office there was a bunch of other guys that got into it because they opened up a crypto exchange here, which had almost like no KYC. So you just needed to link a bank account, boom, boom, boom. And all these guys got into like, they're like, oh, I'm buying a bunch of, what is it? Ripple. They bought like, people were like, oh, I'm buying a bunch of Ripple. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. They're like, you should do all this stuff. And I was like, no, I bought that stuff a while ago. I'm just going to sit on it. But I looked at it and watched these guys get all freaking excited. And then, because they didn't know. And then like a bunch of them lost money. And they're like, oh no, this is all a scam. It's all a scam. And it's like, well, dude, you just kind of jumped in head first and started plowing money into something that you didn't know about. Like, what did you
Hodlers
think
and founders get rich. Hodlers and founders, right?
Yeah, in crypto, there are basically only hodlers, founders, and crypto exchange.
And middlemen.
Crypto exchange, yeah, and middlemen who are making money, all the money.
Oh, the ones that are making money, yeah.
And hexicans.
And HEX. I think HEX is interesting a lot because of the fixed interest, right? If you stake,
it's like the whole inflation, it's fixed, but
yeah,
how much you get for your stakes, it varies. Not much, but it varies.
Yeah, but it's still the inflation is fixed, which is great in my mind.
It's awesome if you are staking your HEX because like, you won't get diluted, and if you stake for long, you're gaining on HEX.
Yeah, that's something. That's why I'm looking at it like this. This looks more interesting rather than waiting for the market to catch on and drive the price up. Right? It seems like a thing that's like it's much easier for somebody like me who's I can learn, but you know, I get kind of like, oh, I can't dedicate a whole lot of time into just focusing on like one thing like that. But if it's like, okay, this is simple, right? All I do, stake it, leave it alone, check on it, make sure it's safe. Just get it in the hard, just get it staked and secure, and just leave it alone. So that's something that I can really get behind. I think it's something that a lot of other people can get behind as well, because banks are being jerks. You know, currencies fluctuate, especially if you're dealing with, like I deal with people in different countries that are paying me for work. So I get paid in USD, and then I got to get transferred out into a bank account. And then there's fees, and then there's, you know, the currency rate changes as well too. And like they're going to be doing next year, I don't even know. Like, what are they going to be doing? They'll automatically every transaction somehow take 7% in taxes just cause, you know. So that's not what I want. It's becoming frustrating. So I think a cryptocurrencies are the way to go, and something like HEX that has, you know, where it's like it's just set, right? It's just
I think you are in the right space.
That's so much
in the right place,
like,
and
cross your fingers and hope it goes up 300%, then quickly cash it out. Or there's a guy I know that he's gotten well into crypto trading in the last 2 years. And he's always like, oh, but he's got enough money to play around with that. I'm like, I don't have that kind of money, dude. You know, I can't just drop that out. I got to pay rent. I got to pay electricity. I got to keep food on the table and stuff like that. I got other bills, so I can't just be plowing money into a crypto that somebody says, oh, just watch. It's like,
that's kind of how we all got here. Sort
money.
of that trading these crypto markets is, 95% of people lose because it's very difficult to do. It's very difficult to time the markets. That's kind of how we all, all of us have tried, I guess. I have failed. So that's why HEX is just the better alternative, because you just stake it, and then every night in the middle of the night you get your daily interest based on how much funds you put in and how long you've staked them, and that's it. So there is no trading. It takes out all of this stress to constantly be on your guard that the markets might dump, or your specific project that you invested in. You always have to watch them, like what's happening. Are they moving to something else? Have they given up on the project that you thought would be world changing? And it's a lot of stress and time involved. And with HEX, it takes out the middleman, it takes out the trading stress, and it's secure.
You don't need to worry about
these
the
are the
exchanges
benefits
either. Half the time, you just get it. Right, you take some ETH, you can swap it into HEX. Boom, take it.
Exactly.
Put it in a hardware wallet.
Can you still hear me? Is my mic still live?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was damaged or not. And it's also finished. That's the best part about it. You don't have to rely on news cycles, on the pump and dumps that are incoming from, resulting from speculation.
Promises.
News and uncertainty is really what it boils down to, right?
That's the best part.
When you're relying on unfinished items, you have to wait to see what's next and what's not.
This is nice what Motley said. Imagine if your Bitcoin had been collecting 40% APY these past 5 years.
Right.
Yeah. So you have your normal gains, and then on top of that, more Bitcoin, which in Bitcoin you can only get it from trading, and most traders can get wrecked. This is the power of just staking.
Yeah.
You don't get inflation in those 5 years because you are the one inflating.
Yeah.
Mad gains.
We don't have to tell Hobo that hodling makes you rich. You are playing the game. You went to crypto and just did the first best thing ever. Just hold the thing.
So are you familiar with Warren Buffett, Hobo?
Oh, of course. I go like, dude, I've been listening to Rogue for 10 years. I know.
All right, then there you go. then you understand the simplicity in achieving, mind-blowing wealth, right? And that's buying the best thing, right? So there's this famous quote that he has. And the quote goes something like, price is what you pay, value is what you get.
Yeah.
Right? In HEX, there's infinite value and it can be mathematically proved. That cannot be done in any other coin, period. So,
that's true.
Yeah. I mean, so what's the difference between a finished coin, right, like HEX, and the rest of the space? I think there's a few. And when you take into consideration the biggest one, I think is just what is the purpose of the coin? Why does it exist? Because when you look at the entirety of the space, right, it's just a bunch of coins that really don't do anything except buy, sell, send, receive, and that's it. Right. And then if you want to do anything else with that, good luck, is you got to give up your keys, right? You got to give up authority of that asset to some other third party, which defeats the purpose of crypto entirely. So we're back at square one, right? We've literally crossed the Rubicon just to go nowhere. So what's the point in that, right? And that's, I think, the biggest difference that HEX gives us, right? We have a complete product that serves a specific purpose that everybody needs, right? Which is making more money. And then on top of that, you know, when you compare and contrast versus the rest, there's just so many positives relative to what the others have. The others just have promises and maybe some headlines that are coming down the pipe. Like, that's it, right? And HEX, we don't even have to worry about that. It just does what it's supposed to do day in, day out, and that's the end of the story. You know, when you sit here and you look at, you know, you as an adult, most adults, they realize that making money day in, day out and not having to, you know, bust your butt for it is almost unheard of. It's not existent. So to find something like this, right, that kind of covers all these check boxes, it's almost unheard of.
Yeah,
it's
the
like
passive income.
Yeah.
It's
that-
everybody's dream. It's
Yeah.
kind of what it's one part of the reason why I do music is hopefully eventually it
Right.
can become a kind of passive income if I get royalties on it. All you know,
owning your masters
maybe I won't get
and whatnot.
maybe I won't get a ton, but
Something is
maybe a
better
little
than
bit here and
nothing.
there.
Yeah.
His
Exactly.
happy birthday still brings in 50 cents every time you sing it, right?
There you go. I've heard that.
Something
Yeah,
like
when
that,
they use
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And that song is
insane.
eons old, so
Right. Look at Mariah Carey never has to do anything ever again.
Oh, that
because of
Christmas
the
album,
Christmas
right?
song.
Oh,
Yeah.
I already know it. I don't know a damn thing about music. You know, some things you just know.
Yeah, that woman is rich and will just continue to make millions of dollars every year just on that one song.
So
Like,
will
it's
Hexicans without the
Every-
songwriting
I know
talent.
that's there you go. So that's very cool. That passive income I think is really important rather than like your bank being like, oh, we gotta charge you to
For just
use.
having
well,
money.
that's passive
for
income
just
for the
having
banks.
it.
You are the
They
passive
charge
income.
you it.
But this is the thing people
Exactly.
don't understand. We are the passive income for the banks because we're the ones that are dumb enough to use them. So yeah. I mean, you got to think about it, right? When you put your money in a bank, it's no longer yours. I don't know why this concept is hard to grasp. Once you put your
Oh, yeah.
freaking fiat in the bank, it is not yours. Period.
Mhm.
End of discussion. Go try to take it out. Cash. Good luck. That's how you know
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not yours. I mean, that's not even, you know, it's crazy to me that people still act like that's a point that's debatable. It's not. When you put money in a bank, it's not yours. So the fact that people are trying to run into that space when the literal reason crypto was created was to get the hell away from it just goes to show the lack of understanding from the space in, you know, in its entirety. And this is why we do things differently over here. We're not over here to placate to the middleman. We're not here for that. Because what's the point?
Yeah.
We'll be back right where we started.
Yeah, I
You
think that's
buy
a
it,
good
you stake
attitude
it.
to have as well. Yeah, buy
It's a
it and
must.
stake it. That's something that a lot of people can get behind, and I think that a lot of people they can understand it. I know, like you're saying, Wells, that people don't get it, but I think it's like it just takes someone like you to just kind of calmly explain it, or like no,
Mhm.
like look at it. These are the advantages.
Right.
It's getting you out of these disadvantages,
Correct.
right? So
I mean,
it's something
imagine.
I think will be easier for most people to understand all over the world too.
Yeah.
There's people that don't. They're like, there's people in the world right now that still don't even they don't even have a bank account because they're like, I don't know how to do that. I don't want to get set up in that. So something that's easy where you're in control, you have the keys, and all you need is basically internet connection for the most part. Everybody's phone can do that now. That's attractive, and that's an incentive, I think, to a lot of people to get involved in something like HEX. Like, look, this is simple, and it has these are the simple advantages of it. And I'm
unfortunately right now it's not simple.
Out.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not
crypto is the hardest thing right now. It's just like email 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You're
That's the big
basically trying to set up your own email pop server. You're waiting for 3 hours until the email arrived at the destination. It's all hard right now.
Yeah.
Like, we are another 5 to 10 years away from having Gmail and GMX and Hotmail and whatever.
That's
Like,
important.
we are still in the beginning.
But that's important though, right? I think
Yeah.
that's important because
That is-
look at all those guys that were around then, and look at them now.
I think
And what
people-
you sorry, one more point. And what you said about the unbanked people or people that are lagging in terms of innovation in general, those people are not even the target audience. Like, it's really hard to onboard somebody in the middle of nowhere who doesn't have a stable country and doesn't have maybe internet. Like, you cannot do anything in crypto if you do not have an infrastructure set up in place. Any country that's been ridden by war, anything, they cannot participate right now. But those are also not the target audience right now. Like, eventually,
is the
sometimes, yes.
Who is the target audience then primarily?
Well, it would be the people in the first world that do have assets and do have access to an infrastructure already. It's just that you want to get rid of the leeches that are in the current infrastructure, which are the banks and the middlemen in general.
So it's like it's the way I view it. It's kind of like it has to happen in waves, right? Because the reality is, it's just like, Das Mom said, those people in those types of countries, they don't have, like in my country, in order for you to interact with crypto, there's like almost no way, right? Like, those banks are blocking you out, period. Like, they're not doing you any favors, and that's just how it is. And people there are so docile and so brainwashed that they don't even know what's happening. They don't know they're being put at a disadvantage. They don't, right? And that's, again, how they can. This is why centralized everything in terms of information and data is a problem, because you get left behind because you're waiting for some fucking master to come feed you. Like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And people don't want to get it. So this is why we have to have these conversations over and over and over until people do, or until people realize that, yeah, their thinking is wrong. Because why is it that somebody gets to give you the scraps and you can't go out there and get your own meal? That's not the way the world is supposed to work. And that's the biggest issue that we have. How do we have, fucking half the world doesn't have $1 in their bank account?
And somebody else also throwing out 62% have a bank account, so 38 don't have one.
Well, you're assuming there's even any actual use for that bank account. In my country, anybody can have a bank account. Don't mean shit because they ain't getting money. So who cares? Who cares if they got a bank account? That's so irrelevant. Like, people get carried away with these statistics that these people want you to know. Those statistics are irrelevant. Look at the fucking economy in those countries. That's what's relevant. Can people survive? And the answer to that shit is no. People in my country, for example, they don't fucking make any money on a day-to-day basis. A salary over there that's good is $100 a month. And you want to know what's funny? Average rent is $300 a month. So these are the realities that people have to contend with outside of the first world, right? So it has to happen in waves. You can't sit here and pretend that people in my country, Africa, even certain parts of Asia are ready to be onboarded. They're not, right? Because there's bigger issues within those jurisdictions that have to get tackled, like basic human fucking freedom, for example. I mean, I mean, just it's very few countries where markets are even
I'm
faked.
with you on that.
Right? Like, I mean, you live in Thailand. I'm sure you can speak to this shit because I'm sure it's not that much
Oh
different.
my God! Don't even get me started. It's
Right? Like, so let's talk about the gas market. Just people, just that need natural gas, gasoline, diesel. I mean, those market prices are faked. Like, there is no, like, in my country, it's set every week on a Friday. It either goes up, sideways, or down, and it's all by cartel over radio. Like, yeah, we decided that the price is going to be like. People don't understand because they've never looked outside of their own little world. Look outside of your own little world. Educate yourself. That'll give you a lot of perspective, and it'll help you analyze what you're doing much better, because having multiple understandings of reality is superior than just one. Right? The more the
Wales
merrier.
is right. There's gasoline for sale outside my window.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there is. But what's the price, and who set it, and why isn't that price? That's the question. And how fucked are you when you got to go fill that tank? That's the other question. Right?
I mean, the beauty in HEX is that really you can be your own bank. You're cutting out that middleman.
That's the point.
And also what should still get everybody on board right now, because it's not that many people yet in the system, not that many people staking. You're still getting that 30 to 40% APY on whatever you put in, even if you're starting now. Because people sometimes they look at us and say like, oh, you're already in this for 2 years, or some of us are in this for 1 year. We've got that 2-year anniversary coming up now for HEX on the 2nd of December in London. Is a big celebration event. Get your tickets, guys, if you haven't got them yet. But what I wanted to say is that the people with the early moving advantage that are in longer have that additional benefit of the value of the actual HEX currency, the HEX token going up on top of kind of the APY. But if you would get in now with $10,000, you would still get the same APY as I would get for $10,000. So that's why it's not too late, because we hear this sometimes that
it's never late.
It's too late to get into HEX. No, because that APY, as long as not the whole world is starting to stake now all of a sudden, is still massive. So
especially now on the dip, you want to get in on the dip so you don't hurt it when the price was down from the last ATH. Like, what is it, 60% now, 70? I don't even know.
65%. Yeah, it's about 65%. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so then I do have one question though, because Das, you'd said that because it's still early, it's like we're at like old email where it takes like 3 hours to get there. We're not at Gmail yet. So is like the Pulse chain fork, is that going to be, do you think that'll be like a major sort of moving it, like bringing it closer to like?
No, I'm thinking that the real next step is when you have a closed circulating system where you actually buy services and products with crypto in general. This is going to be the next step. When you don't have to go back to fiat, this is going to be the next big step. And this is not reliant on HEX itself.
I think that's a big step, don't you think? I think that's a big step.
Isn't that like that's like the end goal?
Yeah,
I would say
that's a big step.
Yeah, but we already have fiat on ramps and off ramps, so we're kind of in that middle ground right now. With Bitstamp, with Coinbase, whatever other on and off ramps you have, in most countries you can even go and cash out at the bank. You can come with your crypto key. You send the money. They check that it's arrived. They give you the cash out immediately, and then you walk out with your 10K, 1 million, whatever you have. I don't know. So
don't they have to settle first, though? Don't they actually have to convert it into fiat first to actually make sure that there's no? They don't take the
no, they take the crypto
risk. They don't take the risk though. Before
they take the crypto.
Okay.
Yeah, they just keep it.
But I think
you show up with your Bitcoin or with your Ethereum, and you're good.
What Hobo was trying to say is that at the moment our growth is somewhat crippled, I guess, by the very high Ethereum fees, and then moving over to the Pulse chain should at least put a tick on that box, to make the adoption and new people coming in easier, more affordable for them, because then transactions will be
Right, yeah,
pennies
yeah.
versus,
It's
you
gonna
know,
be
right now,
crazy.
if you
I can't
transact
wait.
$1,000 worth, you have to pay $70-80 transaction, which is crazy. So
Or
that should
more.
really be pennies.
Or more.
Yeah,
Last
yeah.
night I was
Yeah,
trying
'cause
to
that
I was
sort of
trying to buy the
thing, that-
dip, and it cost me like a failed transaction. It cost me $80.
That's
Should
sad.
be pennies, but now it's penis.
Yeah, just a failed transaction, man. Not even the actual one. How about that? So
KNTX would have kicked you for this.
Ah,
Well,
Who's the captain?
no,
well.
Peter, no, no,
What?
Peter.
don't get better
I'm
ideas.
hovering
There
my
you go.
Boom, boom, boom.
And you're gone.
Damn.
No, don't worry.
Oh,
Don't worry, Papa B. You're
thank
safe
you.
now.
Just a little dunk. Thanks. Man overboard.
But is that pulse chain fork? Is that gonna be like? I remember when they had the Bitcoin fork, when they did the Bitcoin Cash, and that was like ooh, and that sort of really pushed. That actually drew a lot more people into crypto at the time. I feel like I could be
Mhm.
wrong. So is the pulse chain, the Ethereum fork, is that likely to have the same kind of impact? And it's going to be, so like you said, the people who just hold did well in crypto, like people just leave it and forgot it. So then it's
That's
going to be
every market. That's every market, by the way. That's every
Yeah,
market.
that's
Nobody,
true.
Not just
nobody
crypto.
knows the future, but what post-chain is gonna do is it's gonna eliminate the gas costs
okay.
or reduce them to such a minimum that many more projects and use cases and cryptos that were just forced out of the market due to the high gas prices, they will come back and new ones will flourish as well.
Right.
It's like a renaissance. It's a revolution. You are opening the doors again to actual use cases, to actually be using your crypto and not just waiting for the gas costs to go down so you can do one transaction to get it a little bit cheaper. Like
Yeah. That's
right now,
crazy.
only rich people can transfer
Really,
and use anything like swaps or contracts on Ethereum chain.
only rich people can really enjoy the system. That's the best way I think of putting it, because they can do whatever they want, right? Like a $50 transaction isn't going to kill them, right? But for the average person, that they're putting up $500, and just to do the buy, it's $50. Not even to get the money to where you're trying to get it to do the buy, right? Because if you're coming in on Coinbase, you got to pay the Coinbase fee, then you got to send it to your MetaMask wallet. So those two steps are going to cost you at least $15 when gas is high, at least. Because you got to pay that 4% Coinbase fee, and then whatever it costs to get it off of Coinbase to your MetaMask. That could be
To
10
your
bucks.
Trezor, which then
Whatever.
connects up with MetaMask.
Whatever. Trezor, MetaMask, whatever you use. Because
Which
again,
should
if
be
your
Trezor.
OPSEC sucks, you're going
Yes.
to get hacked anyway. So it actually doesn't matter.
Good point. It doesn't matter.
So
But a key difference to the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash fork back then would be that back then those were two competing war parties, if you will.
Cases,
they split and
narratives and stuff.
did their own thing. Whereas in our case, it's both HEX, and Hexkins will support both the forked version on Pulse Chain and the old Ethereum version.
It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same exact thing. It's
We're
not going to be
doubling
any
up.
change. It's going to be the same exact protocol on two different chains, because HEX is complete. It can't be changed. Right? So that one specific item, try to remember that one, because that's actually the most important one. HEX is done. Like, you can't go back in time and like change anything about it. That's it. So the way it is now is the way it's always going to be. So anytime there's a fork from any future network, you're going to get the same copy on the other chain. So if there's an ETH 2.0 that actually eventually does come out at some point in the alternate future that we don't know is going to exist, then we'll have a HEX copy there too. If there's another Pulse, right, there'll be another HEX copy there too. Somebody did a good video on that. I'm trying to remember who the hell it was, because I hadn't even thought of that. Oh, Marco. Shout out to Marco the Hexagon. He did a little video on Twitter about that. And I hadn't even thought about that. And it's true, because networks do get clogged up over time. So, I mean, when it gets to a point where Ethereum is forced to fork itself once again, you can expect another copy, right? Because that's coming at some point. They're clearly not going to do us any favors by doing it now, but it has to come. Otherwise, what are they going to just let the coin go to zero? I don't know.
Well, so I think there will be copycats of Pulse Chain, because Pulse Chain, it's the first blockchain that will
Have
fork
everything
with
type of thing,
with
right?
everything, with a full
Yeah.
system state. So you can if you could not transact with your coins on Ethereum, you can do it on Pulse Chain because your coins will be there.
That
And
is true. It's going to be something different because we've never seen anything like this before.
yeah,
So it's going to be interesting because I try to think about it all the time. Like, what is that going to look like? It's hard for me to imagine what it could look like because it's giving life to what's basically dead right now. Right? Like whoever is paying attention and they
it's
figure
not
out,
that it's clogged up.
well, it's not moving. That's my point. You know,
Yeah.
you got a lot of networks that are just dead right now because of the ETH fees. I mean, imagine this whole new NFT world is going to pop up, even though we don't give a damn about them, but people are playing in that arena, and that's just what's going on. So you can expect something to happen over there because it's going to basically be an open field. I mean, open field. We're talking about transactions of less than a penny. These people are going to be able to really get, artistic with their shit, right? Because they're not going to be limited by transaction costs now. So it's going to get really interesting to see what gets developed on this chain because people are going to go where they can get the work done. They're not going to care. And I think that's something that we all have to respect because I think that's how it's going to actually end up being, whether we want it or not, right? Like Pulse Chain might be the biggest NFT chain, period, just because of the low transaction costs.
Yeah, could be possibly.
I never thought about that till right now because we're talking about it.
What? Really? You didn't?
Nope.
What?
I don't think about NFTs, bro. Why would I?
Oh, okay. All right. Do you know what an NFT is?
I just remembered
right?
something.
Yeah.
You guys know the comic strip? What's it called? Stone Toss. It's like
I think so.
I don't.
Right. It's pretty. I think it's kind of like right wingy stuff, but he just did. The guy that creates it, he just created an NTF of his work, and he made like something like $2 million right away. But
see, that's different, right? The stuff we're talking about is like not that kind of stuff. That's not the kind of stuff we're talking about because NFT, like when it comes to that, that's a broad spectrum, and it encompasses, simple JPEGs to works of art like that, where there's
maybe you Hobo can create NFTs.
You could do NFTs.
Music.
It's music NFTs. Yeah.
Well, let me know. I'll do it as soon as Pulse Chain launches. I'll start putting my NFTs on that network.
Yeah, because then that's a way for you to keep claim to your work, right? Because it's tied to some database that is showing that you are the owner, right? And some third party can't just say, "Oh no, that's mine. You're giving me 50% of your royalties." See, so that's changing the game from that perspective. But again, every NFT isn't like that, right? So it just depends. Right. And that's the thing that people have to be careful with is how they use an NFT because they have use cases, sure, but it's not every use case that's the right one. So, but it's going to be crazy on that Pulse Chain. That's for sure.
Desbaum, do you want me to share the screen? Do you have
if we have time. I just, since we talked about the hack and we just brought it back, so I wanted to share with everybody something interesting. So, not a lot of people know that, but basically this website, blocksy.info, it's similar to Etherscan. You have like normal data on it, and then you also have a graphical address graph. You click on address graph here. So we don't want smart calls. I'm gonna put this on full screen. So what you have is a representation of the network and what one address has been interacting with. And this is the 6th highest staker who was assuming, we assume that he was hacked recently because of all the end stakes. This is what brought up the penalties to 38 or 40 or something, very close. So in total, the guy lost 400 million HEX to early end stake penalties. The hacker or the, I don't know, drunk guy or the bad party, whatever, they end staked all his stakes, and then that had value.
Yeah, up
and
to
they
the 10th year,
yeah, and they even emergency end staked 2, which had a 0 payout. So they didn't understand the system. So I assume it was another party and a hack, because they didn't know what they were doing. I assume that the first time with a long stake, they ended it, and then they saw, oh, nothing came out, I'll just try again. They did it again, and then maybe they did some research after that, but it also gave out 0, and they didn't end the ones that are still there. There is still hundreds of millions in the account, but they ended like let me open. I think it was 2029. Let's have a look at them.
Hey, Kyler.
We have, yeah. So this one's super low. So even though it's ending soon, it's only 2,000 HEX, and the gas costs will be higher than the payout, I believe. And then the next ones are 2029, 2030, 2036. But before that, he had 50 stakes. All of them were ended.
Yeah.
And here you can see what happened to it. So just so you know, you can look at what the transfer were. This one, for example, 2.4 million. And you can double click to see what the other address was doing as well. This is the donation, no, not donation, sorry, the sacrifice address, I believe, CC2, or a donation address. I don't remember which one was which. And he also donated lots of HEX to like the HEX documentary. But the most important one is the 18 million or 12 million that were extracted from this account. Let me find it real quick. Where is it? Yeah, there they are. So these are the 18 million HEX that got lost, and we assume that those are in the hands of the hacker. So he interacted with some really weird swap account, and when I looked it up the other day, one of those accounts that are attached to this one, was it this one? No, I probably won't find it like immediately, but I looked them up, and one of the accounts was associated with a send me 1 Bitcoin, I'll send you 2 Bitcoins back.
Oh my God.
No.
Yeah. So I assume that either the guy did interact with anything like this, or his wallet got hacked in some way, and this is how he basically lost his funds.
Dasbam, I have a question. What would you do if this happened to you? Because right now, 2 people can access, or let's assume 2 people can access the wallet.
Jeez.
Would you end the 2
Hold
remaining
on, Peter.
stakes?
I don't want to. If the attacker is listening, I don't want to give them extra information. Let's go easy on that detail. We know what happens.
Oh, yeah,
we know what the strategy is. Tomorrow, Maddie's going to be interviewing a guy that claims to be the guy. He moved the account.
Really?
Yeah, I'd like to see that the guy.
Tonight,
I'd like to see that the guy signs a transaction, but it's more than that. We have to understand that we may be addressing the hacker as well. If it's a hack, we don't know any of this stuff. There's no way to prove it because you now share an account with the attacker, and he can pose as you.
You can prove it if you had another account that was linked to something like. So I saw that he used I think Bitstamp. Yeah. Okay. So he did transfer something from Bitstamp. If you can prove or show somehow.
If your credentials are heisted, though, from the entire, like, if he did a spoof of the phone and this guy had MetaMask on his phone, then you could easily get access to Bitstamp as well.
Okay, yeah.
Because you have maybe SMS.
I think we are boring hobo.
Yeah, let's not give this guy a leg up.
I got to jump off anyway, gentlemen. It's getting about that time for me. I'm gonna have to bail on you now.
Oh, it's a time for
yeah.
all of us.
Yeah,
Peter,
we want
time
to.
for me.
We want to end it also like after an hour.
Yeah. Well, in any
okay.
case, this is a cool tool to look at stuff like this.
Yeah, thank you, Dr.
Floxy.info. And maybe you'll find something that I didn't find yet.
Yep.
Look at all the accounts. Make sure that you're always secure. Never share your seed. And we can.
Yes, please, everyone. Let's buy treasures.
Buy treasures for God's sake, please. 55% of Hexicans from a recent poll don't use hardware wallets. Don't fuck around. Don't think it's cute. Don't cogitate and think about, whoa, should I maybe pop mine out of the bag? I've had it, in there for 2 months and I just haven't gotten around to it. Freaking get off the stick and get your treasure online. Get that stuff in there and start,
Stop
taking your
playing
security
games, man.
very, very, very seriously.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're going to dump on our heads. You're going to lose your funds. It's going to go to the staking class, and then the attacker's going to dump on our heads. It's a lose, win, lose. Come on, man.
Seriously, though, take your OPSEC very seriously. It's not a game.
Yes.
I would not
Yes,
want to be
please,
that guy.
people.
I would not want to be that guy. It's just not what you want. No.
Yeah.
So.
And get a prenuptial agreement.
How many times were you divorced? Only once?
Let's see. I'm on my forever wife now.
Okay, that's
And outro.
Yeah, thank you, Robo, for coming. And
Peace.
Let's do the outro. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Like I said, Crypto King just jumped out to me and was like, "Hey, come on sometime. Tell people about your stuff." So, like I said, I got a YouTube channel. Just Hobo Sermons. Put that in YouTube. I'll pop right up. I'm on Thursdays and Fridays. And I do have a Telegram channel. It's tm.me/Hobo Sermons, Hobo_sermons. If anybody wants to get on there, that's where I post when the shows are and links to any music that I've put out. So yeah, really appreciate you guys having me on, and I learned a lot here too as well. Nice to meet you all. It was very cool, and we'll do it again sometime. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you for coming. Outro.